President Trump told Boston Herald Radio Attorney General William Barr was, quote, really solid during his hearing before the Senate Judiciary Committee Wednesday. But not everyone felt that way. A number of 2020 presidential hopefuls called into question Barr's summary of the Mueller report, his relationship with the White House, and his credibility as the nation's top law enforcement officer.
I asked you if a president or any person convincing a witness to change testimony would be obstruction of justice, and you said yes. The report found that Michael Cohen's testimony to the House before it, that the president repeatedly implied that Cohen's family members had committed crimes. Do you consider that evidence to be an attempt to convince a witness to change testimony?
No. Your willingness to seem to brush over this and use words like the American people should be grateful with what's in this report, nobody should be grateful. Concerted efforts for deception, for misleading, inappropriate action after inappropriate action that is clear. And then on top of that, at a time that we all recognize that we had a foreign power trying to undermine our election, you, the chief law enforcement officer, not only undermines your own credibility as an independent actor when there's ongoing investigation still, using the president's own words, having it criticized by the Mueller himself. But the challenge we now have is that we are going into an area where you seem to not even be willing to be in the least bit critical in your summarizations. I believe that calls in your credibility, and again, my time is up.
Has the president or anyone at the White House ever asked or suggested that you open an investigation of anyone? Yes or no, please, sir?
The president or anybody else?
Seems you would remember something like that and be able to tell us.
Yeah, but I'm trying to grapple with the word suggest. I mean, there have been discussions of matters out there that they have not asked me to open an investigation, but
perhaps they've suggested.
I don't know. I wouldn't say suggest.
Hinted?
I don't know.
Inferred? You don't know? Okay.
Let's bring in Caitlin Huey-Burns and Dave Weigel. Caitlin is a CBSN political reporter, and Dave is a national political reporter for The Washington Post. He is also the author of The Trailer, which is the Post's political newsletter covering campaigns and elections. Welcome to you both. Caitlin, how much of what we heard from Democrats is likely to carry over to the campaign trail, you think?
Well, we're already seeing some of these Democrats fundraise or try to build their email lists out of today's testimony, and you're going to see them share, if not already, those clips of them grilling Attorney General Barr. For someone like Kamala Harris, this fits into something that she has been trying to make her kind of pitch in this campaign, which is that of a prosecutor, leaning into that experience, but also her supporters and Democratic strategists say that this is what will get people to kind of envision her on the debate stage with Donald Trump. And as we've talked about a lot before, that's kind of how voters are at least starting to assess some of these candidates, whether they can beat Trump and what that would actually look like one-on-one. And so that, I think, is what they're going to take away from today. I will say, however, that it's not something that they are really talking about on the campaign trail because it's not something that voters are really talking about. Voters are asking about health care. They're asking about the economy. Climate change is a top concern, and some other issues that come up as well. So the Mueller report and the Attorney General, while people are interested in it, it is not coming up really on the campaign trail, at least from what I've seen.
Yeah, Dave, I want to ask you basically that same question. So you have a growing number of Democratic candidates calling on Barr to resign. But from your conversations with voters, how much do they really care about this?
I think Caitlin had a good take on it, which is that it is among their concerns. It's not what they feel they need answers from all the candidates about, because it's pretty binary. Is the scandal going to force Trump from office or not? It's probably not, given the Republican embrace of the president. Is it a problem that they need to take care of ahead of 2020 in terms of dealing with foreign interference, with hacking of campaign email? It is. The campaigns do get asked more about that. But I have not seen this rise to the top because it's just something in the air. There's a sense, and I was with Joe Biden in Iowa most recently. All candidates really need to do is talk about the general sense that something is amiss in the country, that people are unsettled, people have a lot of anxiety and disappointment in who the president is. They mention that. They don't actually need to get into the day-to-day of what the latest Trump story is.
Well, yeah, and let me ask you more about that. In your latest issue of the trailer, you write about the first few days of Biden's campaign. What are your key takeaways from his messaging so far?
Well, he really is the Wayback Machine candidate or the DeLorean candidate. There is a promise that he makes in these speeches that if electing him, can return to an era before January 2017 where you were not constantly worried about the president, where you could look up to the president. He talks at every speech, he kind of ranges from his notes, but he's consistent in saying that he worked for a president where you could tell your kids about him and they'd be proud, which is not, you'll notice, a very hard policy position. He doesn't have many hard policy positions yet. He has the $15 minimum wage, a few others, but it is generally a message about restoring what used to feel nice about the country.
Well, President Trump has retweeted dozens of messages from people who said they were firefighters and would not support Joe Biden. And here's how Biden addressed that at a campaign stop on Wednesday.
Folks, I understand the president's been tweeting a lot about me this morning and for a while. I wonder why the hell he's doing that. Whoa. Anyway. So I have imagined I'm going to be an object of his attention for a while.
So, Caitlin, how is Biden's campaign trying to position him as the only one who can actually beat President Trump?
Well, you heard him there, kind of really excited about the fact that Donald Trump is paying a lot of attention to him through all of these tweets that he's been making this earlier today, and that really does help make the case for Biden, they think. The central part of Biden's pitch is as the electable candidate, the one who can defeat Donald Trump, and he's waging sort of a general election campaign at this point, not really paying attention to his rivals, even as some of them either directly or more subtly go after him. So to have the president kind of focused on him is really important. One note about the firefighters, what's really significant for Biden about this union is the support, but it's really the grassroots level mobilization and turning people out and kind of showing that support. It's not just that firefighters like Biden, and that's what Trump was talking about. It's kind of the institutional union support that he's going after and that he thinks can help win back a lot of these people that Democrats lost.
All right, well, more to come, no doubt. Caitlin Huey-Burns and Dave Weigel, thanks to you both.
Thank you.